All right, introducing the Stage 3 build of our HPDE car. Now, we're gonna take you behind the scenes to show you exactly what we did different to make this car go faster. So we're trying to approach this project in how can we make it faster? What are two things that we can do that's always going to make a car perform better? Whether it's at the track, whether it's at the drag strip, whether it's on the street. Those two things are gonna be weight reduction and added horsepower. As you can see, we've got our tubular front bumper bar. We've added one of these to the front and the rear of the vehicle. They're less than half the weight of the stock production bumper bars, so that's gonna help save a good amount of weight. Now underneath the hood, you can see we got a huge mess here. No valve covers, no intake manifold. That's because we reached out to our friend Jason at 1320 Junkie, and he has provided us with a ported 2024 S650 manifold. So what's impressive about this manifold from Jason over at 1320 Junkie is he's able to port all on the inside. In fact, he adds some material where the wall is gonna get too thin, and I was just texting with him, and I said, how do you pop off the top of this lid to get all the way inside? And he says he doesn't. But if you look closely to the underside, he must have some really long Dremel bits because it goes as far in there as you can visibly see. So can't wait to get this on. We've seen him make good horsepower on other S650s, and we expect to do the same on this white car. Next, the Cook's long tube headers have come off, and we actually have a set of production cylinder heads, the ones that came off the Steeda Silver Bullet, and they're up in Michigan at Dan Millen's place, Livernois, getting a full CNC port job to help try and get more airflow into this motor to generate more horsepower. And as we saw with the 2024 Steeda Silver Bullet, ported cylinder heads did pick up some good power. Now it'll be interesting because this is a full CNC style port job with a set of Gen 4 cylinder heads. So we're really looking forward to comparing the numbers between the Silver Bullet and the white HPDE car to see which heads are better. Now it might not seem like a lot, but the Steeda Strut tower brace is actually a full pound lighter than the factory one. The other benefit is we attach to all 4 mounting points of the strut tower, where the factory one only attaches to 2. So you're doubling the mounting points, helping spread the load across the strut towers, and you're gonna save a pound at the same time. So as we know, every pound, it adds up. Another product that we absolutely love is the APR Front Splitter. It's the same one that we run on our red 2018 HPDE car, and it has stood up pretty well. So it only makes sense to put one on this car because that's gonna help strain up that airflow and help this thing get around the turns much better. Now, one of the things we learned in the 2018 drag car is that aftermarket racing seats. Now, yeah, you could put a lightweight Kirky seat in it that's just an aluminum sheet, and it's not very comfortable. We found out adding a set of Corbeau seats to your car can actually reduce the weight by half. So that means you can run 2 seats in your car instead of just 1, and it's gonna be the same weight savings as if you would remove the passenger seat. So if we only run 1, that is a significant savings. That's 75% less with one of these Corbeau seats. They're also not a tin can, so it's gonna be nice and comfortable. You got the side bolstering that's gonna help support Glenn as he's throwing this car around in the turn. So awesome product. Most of our race cars, you're gonna find, even going back to the 22 Focus, they're all running Corbeau racing seats, so great products. Now, while we're focused on weight and power to complement our tubular front road race cane member, which sheds almost 30 pounds off the front, we also want to get rid of some rotating mass as well. That's where the Steeda aluminum drive shaft comes in place. If you're able to reduce this rotating mass, you're actually gonna be able to put a little bit more power to the rear tires, plus the added durability of having a one-piece aluminum drive shaft, which explains why this is such a popular modification for S550 and S650 owners. I think we just got our biggest key to the puzzle for trying to go faster and make more horsepower. A full set of CNC port heads from Livernois Motorsports in Michigan. We reached out to our longtime friend, Dan Millen, him and the gang out there, Adam and Paul. They came up with an awesome CNC Stage 2 head for our HPDE car. We upgraded the valve springs because this car is going to spend the majority of its time at high RPM. CNC ported intake ports, exhaust ports, and then even the chambers. Look at the chambers. What that's going to do is help unshroud the valve, try to allow a lot better airflow into that cylinder because it's all about airflow. The more air and fuel you can put in a motor, the more potential for horsepower. So these things are pretty sweet. We've seen a lot of people have good luck with them. One being our friend Nick out in Houston, Texas. We like to call him No Lift Nick. He said he had a set of these on his Pro-Charged S650, and as you know, that was the fastest Pro-Charged S650 in the world. So good luck, really reputable name. Anybody that knows anything about drag racing and making horsepower knows Dan Millen from all his days in Super Street Outlaw. So we're looking forward to bolting these on and seeing how much power they make. Anybody that knows anything about racing knows the name Hoosier. Now last time we were at the track, we had some AO 52 Yokohamas. Now this is a Hoosier track day tire. We're running a square 325 setup that's gonna hopefully provide more grip given the extra horsepower we plan on making. So we also added this awesome GTD style hood, which not only looks great, but it should release a lot of underhood air pressure that's coming in through these front grills. The best part about it, in my opinion, you could see the Steeda ProFlow cold air kit right through these vents. It should help with aerodynamics. Like I said, less pressure underneath the hood, hopefully equating to quicker lap times. Well, it's been a mad thrash here the last 2 weeks, trying to get the white HPDE car ready for Glenn as he tackles Sebring International Raceway. We brought it over to the dyno, we got the new tires mounted on it, we completed the engine work, so let's strap it down and see what kind of power we make. This is straight 93, no mixing of any fuels, and we've got peak numbers of 21 horsepower to the rear tires. As you saw with the Silver Bullet, we only picked up about 13, but it's an automatic, it's got a loose torque converter. This has got the 6-speed manual transmission in it. It's a much better representation of what kind of power it made. Peak torque numbers of 10 foot-pounds of torque. Now you can see down low, it's making gobs more torque underneath the curve. But when Glenn's out there at Sebring International Raceway, he's gonna spend all of his time 5,000, 5,500 and above. And as you can see, it is making a ton more horsepower up top. So we're super excited, we're optimistic. We don't have much time here. We're literally gonna load this up in the next 5 minutes so our buddy Sparky can head on down there, and Glenn should have some great results for us, so stay tuned. We also added this Trick Ames camera mount system that we fabricated in the welding department. What that's gonna do is give them a good mount for the camera. Anytime you're running Recaros or these Corbeau seats, there's just not a good place to put them because they typically bolt to the back of the headrest. And since you don't have an adjustable headrest, Glenn was using a series of zip ties to try to keep it in place, and with the rough surfaces and all the G-forces out there, we weren't really getting the high quality videos that we desired. So we fabricated up this mount, powder coated it black, and should be able to provide you with much better videos. So stay tuned and let's see what this thing runs.